finally have him announced and out here?
It means I don't have to do any more paperwork today. Nah, I mean, he's sorry. This feels a little bit silly. As we said 2 days ago, he's a guy that we think will help us anywhere in the band of three, and he's an exciting attacking player, and feel like he's played at a high level, we're pumped.
Now that he's on the roster officially, is he eligible for Saturday for coach's selection?
We are still pending his work visa and his ITC, so those are things that will be work in progress. If I had to guess, I'm guessing he will not be ready for this weekend. But I would also say that there are team side factors in that too, in terms of fitness and conditioning and filling him out. So today was really good because we worked in a full team exercise, and so we got to play with the guys. But I mean, literally, he's got to figure out who his teammates are and stuff yet. So like find a place to live, some basic things like that.
Hey Garth, when you got the job, you probably, I know you had some kind of a plan on a 1 to 10 scale, and you're not going to tell us what that is. Where are you at on that? Whatever vision you had.
Man, I don't know if I can distill it down. Look, what our plan, broadly speaking, is we felt like coming in that we had a lot of talent, and then we wanted to compete and try to win a championship before the window closed. But likewise, we had to hedge our bets and begin making the roster younger. And so specifically after 2015, we began that process. And I think you've seen us sign in the last two windows. I think everybody's been with Gustav was under 30 when we signed. Anyway, we signed players more or less between 24 and 29, what we consider prime age, what the data suggests is prime age. I'm not saying every signing we ever make will be in that range, but just given the age of our group, at the beginning of 2015 when I started, where we in a game where we started 10 starters in the playoffs over 30, then had I think 14 or 15 guys over 30 on the roster. That's not tenable. That's not sustainable. That's what we've tried to move back from. I think we're down to 6 guys now, which is a lot more manageable. And again, it's not even a reflection of, look, we like veteran guys just as much as young guys. It's just a matter of balancing the roster so you have sustainability, and you hopefully have at every position somebody with potential to be an all-star and a guy who can lock it down and play every week for you at the same time. And sometimes those guys are the same person, but other times they're going to be, 2 players for those roles.
Because we can look at any club in Europe, in the world, and they have some kind of a blueprint. I mean, Monaco does their own, Man U, Chelsea. So it looks like each club has its own blueprint. How has your relationship with Smethurd just grown for you to be able to both accomplish this organizational blueprint goal?
Love working with Brian. He's been great. Obviously, he's done a bang-up job since he got here. Team's won a lot of games, won the title. Look, the other thing I'd refer you to, Mons, is the strategic blueprint that we laid out at the fan meeting, the Alliance Council meeting last year. So we talked about being a proactive, possession-based team, and we talked about wanting to be an attacking, exciting, entertaining team, and we want to be all those things. And in order to do that, you have to have attacking options. So you have to have multiple bodies. You can't just have one person, because especially in that, let's call it the front four, the band of 3 and the 1, you have to have the ability to change the game within a game as well, and you have to be able to offset national team call-ups. So, you could see us add yet another player there in that group. We like our young players. We like Kovar. We like Ship. We believe in their potential. But as I said, we want some veteran players up there. And look, we have guys like Will Bruin. It's kind of a little bit of both, and Jordan is a young player. So the point being, this continues. Victor's signing continues the type of soccer team we want to be. We want to be able to dictate play. We want to be able to behave what, in my opinion, how a big club should behave. And we want to try to compete for the title every year. And specifically this year, we want to try to defend our title.
Is this what makes the GM job unique for MLS as opposed to, I don't know if you look at the other ones, like looks like it's always changing, moving parts? And
I think every GM job is a lot of moving parts, man. I mean, if it were easy, everybody would do it, right? You always have to adjust. Situations always change. Players' form goes up and down. Guys get hurt. Guys stay healthy. Like it all impacts kind of what you're doing. And so I think it's important to have a blueprint and a framework. But then also be willing to adjust when you need to adjust. Case in point, we came into this season thinking we had a really good solution at right back. And unfortunately, we haven't been able to stay healthy consistently there. And, so we had to try to find a different solution. Likewise, I described right back, left wing as kind of our 2 most unsettled spots. We had some guys that we brought in that we thought might be able to lock it down. Not the way it played out. Again, that's not the fault of any of the guys here or anything like that. It just means for my role, I have to try to continue to provide options to my head coach. And we've tried to do that.
One more. And you guys have been 100%, as far as we know, in terms of the type of players off the field. You haven't any major distractions. So the quality of the individual that you've been able to bring in, I mean, that vetting process has obviously been successful.
Yeah, I mean, look, for everybody that we bring in, we have a data component, we have a scouting component, and we have an interview, a personality component, and all of those are things that we weigh, and yeah, we try to get good guys. What I would say too is that this place tends to attract good guys. So, and what I mean by that is, I think in New York and LA, when you're trying to look for that kind of star personality a little bit more, and guys are going to self-select to kind of go for the glamour and the attention and the partying and that kind of thing. And I think Seattle and our fan base is really much more of a family type place. And so if you look too at the guys we brought in, a lot of them have families, and a lot of them, part of the attraction to living here is it's a beautiful city, it's growing, but it's good schools and they feel safe and things like that. And I think it speaks to what a cool place Seattle is. And look, the other thing that everybody looks at is there's 40,000 people in the building, and when you have that, when you have our fan base, it makes us uniquely attractive in North America.
In order to evaluate a player coming in, you could either evaluate the talent or the price tag he came in. When you look at this Victor Rodriguez signing, what take in consideration making that a good signing?
If he plays good soccer, man. I mean, the automatic follow-up to the previous question is, you can overthink all this stuff, man. Like, what you want is good soccer players, and if you get good players and you get enough of them and you put them on the field together, they're going to figure it out, and you're hopefully going to win some championships. So, in evaluating Victor, it's a guy that, again, Chris Henderson had scouted. I said 2 years the other year. He corrected me. It's actually been 3 years that he was watching him. So he did all the work on this, man, and he's a guy who's been on our radar forever. We think he fits our style of play. We talked about that proactive possession base. So how do you play in La Liga? Everybody plays with the ball. And so he's another example, another type of player. And again, when we talk broadly speaking, our midfielders tend to come to the middle, right? And we've signed fullbacks now that are dynamic, athletic guys on both sides. Jovan Anuhu on the left, Leardom on the right, Evans on the right. Guys that can get forward and bomb up and down, and then your width comes from there. You keep the ball with the guys in the middle, and then hopefully the point of the spear is guys like Jordan Morris and Will Bruin and Clint Dempsey, who are knocking the goals in from those chances.
But Victor he's coming from like a tough season with Sport Guion. Were you looking at him redeeming that potential here in the MLS, or was it more like because he was a really good price tag for a really good player type deal?
What I would say is he's played 100 times in La Liga. So and I said the other day that we hadn't signed a La Liga player. It's not true, because both Valdez and Ivanschitz had played in the La Liga at one point. But they were also a couple of years past. Ivanschitz actually came from Levante. But again, he was 3 or 4 years older than is Victor. So you're talking about a current La Liga player with again, not a cup of coffee, but 100 games in the prime of his career, and that age 24 to 29 that we believe is the prime age. So again, from our data, from our scouting, Chris Henderson seeing him live, from the personality interview, does this guy really want to come? We'll let him talk about it, but he's got an interesting family situation, and he was willing to come and was enthusiastic about coming in what could be viewed as a stressful situation. So, if he felt like we felt like he ticked all the boxes for us.